Hello everybody, welcome back. Thank you guys so much for stopping by. I hope this video finds you well. In today's video, I am trying something new. I'm going to actually be doing some expense tracking with you guys. I'm going to be filling out my transaction log, showing you how I track all of our expenses, any money coming in or going out from our accounts. So if that is something you are interested in watching, then please stay tuned. Hi there, my name is JoJo. If this is your first time stopping by, on this channel I share with you our family's journey to financial freedom. If that's something you'd be interested in following along with, then please consider subscribing, and if you enjoy this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up before you leave. Alright, I'm not sure how well this is going to work because I've never filmed one of these videos before, but this is my transaction log. If you have watched my weekly check-ins, this is something you're familiar with. Just to walk you through if you are new here, the first column is the date the transaction occurred, next is a description, and then the amount, how much is remaining from the category I had budgeted for, and what category it falls into. Anything that is yellow is a variable expense, blue is a sinking fund transaction, pink is a bill. This was from last week, if you watched my weekly check-in from last week. And I'm just gonna move this down here. I'm trying a new setting on my camera. Honestly, the camera that I have is fancier than I know what to do with. I am trying to figure it out though. But we got it as a Black Friday deal like many years ago. And yes, I am using my daughter's LOL ruler. Okay, so I'm just gonna draw a line to separate the previous week. I'm gonna go into my calendar here on my phone. So the dates that I'm gonna be looking at are gonna be from February 3rd to the 9th. And that is the day that I am filming this. All right, we are cashless budgeters. So the first account I'm going into is our debit card. My husband is actually the only one that really uses the debit card. And then we have a few bills that still come out of our checking account. My husband did actually just get a credit card. It had a $250 cashback bonus immediately available, and then it also has pretty decent cashback on any purchases. I use a Capital One Venture card, and we currently have about $1,500 of cash back built up on it. I'm conserving that for when we go on our family vacation. We're hoping in 2023 to go to Disney World, and flights are expensive, so I'm just trying to get that built up to hopefully decrease the amount of vacation costs that we have. But the first place I go is to our bank. I'm just checking to see what has come through, and I paid my daughter's karate teacher on the 3rd, and that's just through Venmo, and that was for $60, and that comes out of my kids' sinking fund. Next, I made some money moves. So if you watched my weekly check-in last week, we had put $200 into my kids' UPMA accounts, but I like to buy ETFs, and I didn't have enough from the money I transferred to buy an entire stock. And I go through Vanguard for my 401k, our Roth IRA, my kids' 529, and their UTMA. And I just opened an M1 Finance account, and what I thought was kind of cool is that you can buy partial shares. I'm We just opened a brokerage account there, so I opened a brokerage account for my kids there as well. It's not going to have the same tax benefits that an UTMA has, but I'm hoping to just kind of build that up and then transfer that money over to the UTMA. I'm going to have to research the tax implications of that, but that's my current plan. And you can buy partial shares through M1, which I thought was really cool. But I invest in VTI primarily through M1, and then through Vanguard, I mainly do VOO or the S&P 500. And so just that, the reason I'm telling you guys that is because if I had pulled all of the cash out of that hadn't been invested in an ETF out of my kids' UTMA through Vanguard, and one of them had almost $100. It was like $96.59. So I ended up transferring a total of 100 of that $96.59. So the 100 minus the $96.59, there was an additional $3.41 that I kicked in extra to go towards that. So I'm just going to put that as M1 kids, and this is just more a note to myself. And I had pulled an additional $3.41, and I'm going to put this under variable as a miscellaneous expense. On the 7th, my husband had taken our motorhome and filled it up with gas, and that was for $50. And this is in preparation for our vacation, so I'm going to actually take that from our Adventures sinking fund and not pull it from our gas variable expense. Next, my husband had stopped at a little mart that we have close to our house, and he had spent $6.90, so that will come out of Dad. Then we had a bill, and that was for our security system. It came out as expected at $9.99. So I know that's how much that bill, I budgeted for that bill, that's what it's been. So I'm just going to put 0. Then we also have an Xbox subscription that I actually need to look at canceling because we don't have this anymore. So I'm going to call my bank, and because I don't know that my husband knows how to access this account anymore, and we thought that we'd canceled it. So I'm going to just call my bank and tell them to freeze any more purchases and see if they'll maybe give me a refund. But if not, I'm just going to make sure that they halt any transactions. This, I'm going to pull that from our electronic sinking fund. Next, I'm going to go to, I have a credit card through my bank, but it really doesn't have that great a cash back. I have one bill that still comes from there just to keep it active for my credit score. And that bill had come out, let me make sure I didn't write it up here, because sometimes these bills, you know, they'll show up pending, and if I see it, I'm just going to track it, but then it'll when it clears, it looks different. So I want to make sure that I'm not double tracking things. But this is our Cinemark membership to go watch movies, and that came out as expected at its $9.99. Okay. Next, this was today. I had gone to the Family Dollar, which is right by where we live, and picked up some milk. That was for $4.85. That's gonna come from grocery. Next, my friend and I had gone for mimosas at this awesome bakery. You guys, they have a thing called bacon jam. I didn't know that could be a thing, but now it needs to be a part of my life forever. It was on this, it was like bacon jam on a croissant with avocado and caramelized onions, an egg. It was so good. My friend and I had ended up sharing, so she got a creme brulee French toast, and then the mimosas that they gave us had a little scoop of raspberry sorbet in it. It was like a grown-up, hyped up version of a root beer float, and it was so good. So good. But I had got, so I'm trying to think, the total that I spent was $58.75, but I'd actually got 4 additional pastries to bring home for me and the kids. And so what I had actually spent, I'm trying to think, so of the 4 pastries, and it was pretty expensive. It was a pretty expensive place, but as a nice treat, I think we'll be going there again. I would say, so mine ended up being $20 for the mimosa and sandwich, and that is going to come out of the My Face sinking fund because I already spent all of my money on the light that I got for filming, and so that leaves $38.75 that came from our eating out. And that is our family fun category anytime we get anything to eat out. So I'm going to note that there. All right, this is filled up. I'm going to move over to a new transaction log. And this, I'll just write February. On last week, I told you guys I had this little post-it because our Domino's eating out hadn't cleared yet. It was showing kind of a double charge because if we'd also done a tip, so it looked like there was 2 charges, one for $23.35, one for $35.36. The $35.36, which is after the tip, is what ended up clearing. So I'm gonna just write that was on the 2nd, and this was for Domino's, and it was $35.36, and that was eating out, which comes from the fun category. Next is Disney Plus, but this was for a movie. I had canceled our Disney Plus membership or subscription because we just weren't using it very often, but my daughter had wanted to watch Lilo and Stitch, and it was free if you had a Disney Plus membership, and to rent it elsewhere was $4 or $5. She wanted to watch Lilo and Stitch 1 and 2. And I'm really glad we got it because she's now been on a kick of Encanto, which I really like that movie too. I think we've watched it 3 times since I got this subscription, so it's been well worth it. But what I do is just, you pay the $7.99 one-time monthly subscription, and then I can go in and cancel it, and that gives me $7.99 for free access to movies, and it's cheaper than renting them from our other subscriptions. And I'm gonna pull that from Fun as well. Okay, so the next one is on the 4th, and that was our HP Ink bill. That was for $2.17. Then I had gone to Smith's. I think this was also for milk too. My kids, I normally get lactose-free milk and I get it from Costco, but since I missed that trip, I didn't get the normal 3-pack Kirkland lactose-free brand. But my kids love milk, and yeah, we go through it like crazy. So this, I had picked up two cartons from Smith's, so that'll come from grocery. And then our Walmart one, I need to actually go into the account because that was again showing two charges. This was one that was pending, but this was what it was showing me on the actual bill, and on the actual account that they charged us was $85.38, and that's what ended up clearing, was the $85.38. So this is everything we ended up buying, and I need to just go through and see if there were any non-grocery items. Okay, yeah, it looks like everything was groceries. As you can see, this order was from January 29th, and it had finally cleared. It's crazy how long it takes it to clear. But I like to wait for it to clear before I actually write it on my transaction log. So it didn't clear until February 5th. And that was $85.38. And it was all groceries. Next, I had gone to get my hair cut, and I got Great Clips has a Black Friday deal where you can load up a gift card. I think you can get up to 22 haircuts on the gift card for $10.99. I think I got 20 or something like that, but so I used that gift card, and but I did want to give a nice tip because I grew up with a single mom and she was a waitress, and I know how important tips are to people who are in the service industry. This is going to come out of my face because it was for my haircut. Next is another Family Dollar purchase. And we had gone there because we went to a family science night at my daughter's school, and they had us build, you get like a Ziploc baggie of random things, and you had to make a car that could move with pretty much like the power of your breath. So you built like a sail on it. It had straws, lifesavers, and then index cards. It was super fun, and my son actually ended up winning. He just turned 5. He had such a blast. My daughter, we took her friend with us as well, and the girls had a lot of fun. They were, of course, more focused on their car looking cute as opposed to functionality, but they had a really good time. It was really fun to see everybody using their imaginations. But my son wanted to build another car, and so we went to the Family Dollar to pick up some lifesavers. I also got a car center, and then I got my daughter some little St. Patrick's Day socks for like $1, and my son had wanted a Hot Wheels truck. So I ended up, let me see, the car air freshener was $6. It was a 2-pack. It smells really good. It's like a honeyberry hula is what it's called, from Febreze. Yeah, I'm really liking it. That is going to come out of household. And then the rest of it, I'm just going to put under miscellaneous. And that is $13.45. I don't get too caught up on categorizing things, and I just kind of round stuff wherever it makes sense, as long as it is actually on paper somewhere, tracked some way, somehow. I'm good with that. Next is a Walmart purchase, and this was because my husband had not we both cook meals. I work 3 days a week. He works 4 days a week. On the days that I don't work, he plans the meals and gets whatever he needs for his dinners. And then on the days that I don't work, it's vice versa. We use a Google document that we can both share through our phones. So we both have access to the meal plan, and we have a shared account for our grocery pickup through Walmart. So he can add things through his phone, I can add things through my phone. It's very convenient, but we normally like to do our grocery pickup either on Friday or Saturday. He just hadn't gotten his items ordered and ended up having to put in an additional time. And that was on the 7th. It was a Walmart pickup for $23.35. Next was a bill. This was our gym membership for $75. And there's no variance. Next is another Amazon. We don't really do much shopping in person anymore. I rarely go in to buy groceries. Let's see. So this was for a charger for my husband's PlayStation remotes, and it was his PlayStation remote charger he's had it for, oh my gosh, 10 years, and it was really busted. So he had got, let me see, remote charger is what I'll put that on there as. That was for $12.87. I'm just going to pull that from our electronic sinking fund. Next is another Family Dollar purchase, and this was for a box of Fruity Pebbles. I had wanted to make some Valentine's Rice Krispie treats for the kids, with the kids, but they didn't have the Rice Puff cereal at the Family Dollar. They only had the Fruity Pebbles, and I'll tell you guys, they came out, like, this texture of the cereal, they came out a lot harder than I was expecting. So I'm not going to make that version of Rice Krispies treats again, or marshmallow treats again. I'm definitely just going to stick with the puffed rice cereal. If we have to kind of heat it up a little bit to soften the marshmallow, but yeah, those Fruity Pebbles, they not so good. Those were $4, and that's from grocery. And then I had also picked up some command hooks. We have a huge photo wall. We'd rearranged our main living area and needed to hang up the pictures. I am so glad to have them up. My kids have been loving it. My son, I don't like where the photo wall used to be. He really didn't notice it before, but now he's been, like pointing out his baby pictures, and we have our wedding photo on there and talking about that. It's, it just makes the house feel a lot more homey. And that was the rest of it. So $11.29, that's going to come from household. Okay, on the 9th, we had another Amazon purchase, and these were for new plugs for our motorhome. They came to $20.92. I'm going to put that under cars sinking fund. Then there was another, this was just like a toy for my daughter. She actually, I need to add in her money. So I kicked in $5, and then the rest of it was money that she had received from her grandparents for Valentine's Day, and then just other money. She has a coin jar that will count her change for her, and it was coins that she had saved. So I really only paid $5, but I haven't cashed in that money from her yet. So you guys will probably see that coming in a future video. So I'm just going to account for it now. And that was for 1948. That's going to come out of miscellaneous. Then we had our Hulu bill. That it was its usual $64.99, no variance. Then on the 9th, I'd gone to the cafe at my work and got some really yummy spicy lime peanuts. Let's see, those were for $3.39. Again, that's going to come from a face. And that is it. Okay, now we have written everything down. Next, I just need to fill out this remaining and then highlight the check boxes. So when I come back and do my weekly check-in with you guys, I can just breeze through that. Okay, so the first one is miscellaneous, and what I'll do is I'll come find where we ended last time, which was $69.02. Okay. We'll minus the $3.41, so we still had $65.61. And that was it for the miscellaneous there. I'll come and scroll for any other miscellaneous. There was a $13.45. Then the 1948. Okay, so we are going to be under budget for miscellaneous, which is great. Now, come and see where my husband was at. So he had $47.88. Minus the $6.90. And I think that was it. That was all he had spent. So this will be rolled into his dad bod sinking fund. Next is grocery. We had $116.42. So let's see. Yeah, we had a lot of random grocery purchases just because of our routine was kind of thrown off because I had that random day off. But that's how life is, you know. You're not going to have the same week every single week. Okay, $23.35. Oops, so this made us over budget. And -4. So next is fun, $60.89. That's what we had ended with last week. And then we had spent $38.75. Whoa, what is that? There we go. Minus. Okay. That left us with $22.14. Okay, we are over here as well. Okay, that is it for fun. Next is my HP ink bill, and I budget $5 for that. So it was $2.83 less than what I had thought it would be. Next is household. We had ended with $29.18. And then minus $11.29, $11.89. Okay, great. So we were under budget there, and right, I have everything counted for in the remaining. Now I'm going to pull out my highlighters. I'm just going to start with sinking funds first. There were a lot of sinking fund transactions. There was karate, adventures, Maface, electronics. Okay. And another Maface, electronics, cars, Maface. Okay. Next we'll do bills. So that's in pink. We had Hulu, the gym, HP Inc., our security system, and Cinemark. Okay, and then I'll go over, I have my calendar and I'll check those off on there as well, just to see that all of the bills have cleared as expected. Okay, just make sure I didn't miss anything before I highlight it. Now we're just doing all of our variable expenses. Grocery, household, miss, grocery. Okay. All right. That is it. All of the expenses are tracked. And that is how I check in. I normally do this on Fridays and Wednesdays. I had just saved everything because I was thinking of doing an expense tracking video with you guys. It really wasn't that bad, but it normally doesn't take me nearly this long. I've been kind of chatty because I enjoy filming and enjoy interacting with you guys. But yeah, let me know how you guys track your expenses and how your February is going so far. I'll see you guys next video when we come do our weekly check-in to close out the January budget and see how we did with all of the spending the last week of that budget.